Welcome back to Liberty Junction, Double O Dave. Hope you've had a good week. The last video's been up a few days. It's not done as good as the other one. I'm not sure if that's the title, so I'll have to think about that a bit more. Little bit of fun info about this little clip. That length of line track that those four men are trying to move about. Interestingly, if you actually look close, that is covered in grey paint. I basically used that piece of track to stir some paint, and I basically just placed it there one day while I was doing something, and then I've just put them blokes working on it now, and I'm just going to leave it because I like how it looks. I'm probably just going to rust it up a bit because it looks a bit crazy being shiny at one end and grey at the other, but yeah, that's that. Night running video. So this was trickier than I thought it were going to be. I'm not going to lie. Everything in the dark. The camera's making this look quite light, but believe me, that room is quite dark. There's no windows, and there's a few LEDs. The ones at the back up there that you can see, they're quite bright, them on the town area, but everything else is quite dark, and yeah, it proved a bit tricky. Some of the shots will be a little bit blurry, but I think it looks quite well. So I originally recorded a load of videos and I've put them together, and it's come back as half an hour long. So what I'm going to do, because I don't believe anybody's going to sit and watch this for half an hour before clicking off, so I think I'll split it in half and I'll do it in two parts. And then realistically then, if someone's got a cup of coffee or a tea or whatever and they just want to watch it, it's not too long, is it? What I found with my very, very first videos, which were about 10 minutes long, people were probably clicking off them after a couple of minutes, according to a page that I randomly found. I've never found since, but it was basically showing that after 2 minutes people were clicking off board. So that's when I decided to start trying to do a bit of talking about stuff and just explaining a few bits to try and keep people a little bit more interested, because some of the scenes I do get quite lucky sometimes with the camera angles. They look really well, and yeah, it'd be a shame to not watch it all. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. If you think 15 minutes is long enough, or if you'd have preferred it as a one in half an hour. Yeah, I've had loads and loads of comments. I've replied to as many, I think every one of them, to be honest. I got a bit of earache, to be honest, off the wife one of the days, because I spent all day replying to people. But if people have taken the time to comment, I don't mind taking a bit of time to comment back. So yeah, that little video there. 125's pulled into the station. It sat there for a little while, and then it's gone back the other way. For no particular reason, and just to make it a little bit different and not to run the cameraman over. So yeah, if you just look at that little length of track there, you'll see now. You wouldn't have noticed it, would you, if I'd have not said, but let's keep it honest. It's covered in grey paint. It stirred a pot of paint one day, and I quite like it. This little view, this is from the footbridge over the tracks. That's what that represents. I had to basically just put my phone in some right positions to get that shot. Then it's going round the back of the quarry, and then I think that's pretty much the HST done. A little bit of a pan round. So this week I've put these new lights. I got them off eBay. They're not particularly dear ones. They're only plastic LED, but I think they look good. They look alright. I think they're only about £6.99 for two, which I don't think's bad. I love that shot. I think that shot looks really, really effective, and I like the glow. It looks well. Let me know what you think. So 37's just starting up, and he's going to make a run around. Bit of an interesting thing I found this week with this 37, and I've contacted Accurascale about it, I'll let you know what they say. What I found is, I mentioned on one of my other videos, I've got one radius 2 curved point, which I've literally just added, which enabled all this section. Without that point, I couldn't have this section, it wouldn't have fitted. So I needed to have that radius 2 curve, which I'd rather not had. I'd rather have made a bit of a bigger curve, but I had to have that. There were no other option. All the other track were laid, and I added this afterwards. What I found is with this loco, if I run it out to this direction, what I discovered is it basically, at slow speed, it derails every single time. But if you take the loco off the track and turn it round and run it the other way, the same point, the same thing, it doesn't derail, which I find quite unusual. To me, if it's going to derail one way, it should derail the other, being as though it's almost like it's the same both the way around, isn't it? It's not like a high speed where it's a completely different shape at one end. It's basically a mirror image of itself, as far as I'm aware. And the other Accurascale does the point perfectly. So yeah, I've contacted them. They want me to send them a video and proof of purchase. So I'm glad it's this one, because I did purchase this from a shop, albeit I can't remember the name of the shop. So in the next few days I'll have to find the receipt out and take a little video. But well, I'll see what I'm sure it's nothing major, and to be honest, it's not the end of the world. Even if they say they're not going to do anything, it is what it is. I'll just run it the other way and see what comes of it. But yeah, none of my others do, so I'm a little bit disappointed, but not complaining. I'm genuinely not. I just thought I'd point it out. I don't know what it could be. Have anyone got any ideas? Why would it derail one way and not the other? It's just bizarre. It really is bizarre. So yeah. And this was another point of this, a bit more honesty coming up. I didn't notice that wagon is it's not even on the rails on the front. It's fully derailed, but it ran quite silently, so I've left it in. I think you can just about see it on this shot. I can't remember if I finish it early once I noticed, but yeah, this wheel's not on. Yeah, there you go. This chap here is looking at this ladder. I don't think he fancies doing that climb. He's been looking at it now for about 6 days. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if he gets up there. So yeah, there. I don't know if you just caught it. It just derails. I was going to stop the loco there anyway. It's just moving so it can reverse back down. But yeah. I must have done 10 takes before I realised what were happening with that. Because it was in the dark, I couldn't really tell. So I did it with the lights on and then tried it again. So yeah, not sure. Just on a side note as well, on my last video, I mentioned that class 411, it was running terribly. Just after that, one of my Accurascale started running a bit bizarrely. Sound was coming on its own and all sorts. And do you know what I did? It had been a long week at work when I did that commentary, and I just weren't thinking straight. And basically, the wheels were filthy. Wheels were filthy on the 37. I cleaned them up, and it were absolutely fine. I've not done the 411, but I pretty much would bet this month's wages that if I clean them wheels, well, when I do, which will be next time I go up there, that it'll be fine. Because it were never jerky like that. I think I'd just had a long day. But yeah, too late now. I've already put that video out. I'm not going to edit it, so leave it at that. I've laid these lights out, so there's deliberate shadow areas. I just quite like it. I didn't want it to be too much. But yeah, I think it's looking well, that. It's looking well. I do like it. So another thing I've done this week, I don't think it's on this, no, it's not on this video because I only did it yesterday. I've got an ID back scenes, just plain clouds for the back of the viaduct. For the last 12 months, I've basically had a printout that I did off Google, a computer printer, of some clouds just there because I'd not got around to doing anything else. And I bought this back scene absolutely ages ago. And yeah, I finally got around to fitting it, so it's looking a lot better now. I've took one section of rocks away. I put a piece of foam in. It was a bit of a stopgap really, just to cover up some messy back area, so that's gone now. So on the next daytime video, should be able to see the clouds. It looks quite good. The other thing I'm planning on doing is some fencing around part of the layout as well, some security fencing. So I've bought some bits and bobs today to get that done, make a start on that. And I need to get some KD couplings ordered, because on this video, what I realised is most of my rolling stock is running the Hunt couplings with the black tack, and I've got KDs on my locos, and there's not many where I've got KDs. So on this, what I've done, I've been a bit sneaky, and I'm going to be honest again, but it worked, is I've basically put on the Hunt couplings, I've added an extra little magnet, so that basically it just magnetises to the KD, so it's a bit of a trick. But would you have known if I'd have not told you? That's the question. You see, he's still looking at that ladder. Still looking, not sure what to do, is he? So yeah, sorry, just ignore that. Just ignore me. I get silly sometimes. The 411 in the background with the lights on. I've got to say, them lights, they don't seem the right colour. They're very, very orange, aren't they? Surely in real life, them lights weren't like that, or people would literally get off them trains with a headache, wouldn't they? Tell me if I'm wrong. I could be fully wrong. I don't ever admit to being an expert on anything rail related, but to me, they are crazy colour. Like I say, correct me if I'm wrong. That's a nice shot. I like that. Just at the top, the white that's glowing a little bit. That's obviously one of the cross beams in the loft, which I'm gonna have to probably paint that up to disguise that. So yeah, we're just gonna run these round to the depot area. That rear one, that KFA wagon, doesn't really get much running on my layout. That I generally just have it parked up. It doesn't seem to fit. At one point, when I first started, because I bought it from a friend at work, his lad had a load of stuff for sale, so it was part of the bundle. But what I did is I bought a load of them Hornby Railroad container wagons, and they were okay while they lasted. I sold them all. I had about 10. They were very, very wibbly wobbly as they ran round. They didn't look very realistic, so they got the chop. I'm not sure I'm going to keep that. The oil wagon as well, that's just an old one. I just dug that out from the back to change it up a bit. And at one point, again, I bought 5 or 6 of those when I first started. But they are the old Hornby ones with the big giant D links, and they just look a little bit rubbish. I don't particularly like them. I've seen videos where people can modify them and whatnot to make them better, but the price you pay, I don't know. This is a nice little shot. This, well, I think so. In the dingy station area, as the train comes round, it does some quite decent little effects with the camera. Quite like it, and it comes real close, and it gets blurred, but I think that's half of the charm with this bit. It looks quite good, quite realistic, apart from that bloke with a crazy pink tracksuit bottoms on, and the other guy with a bright orange top, looking like a pumpkin. But yeah, you see what I mean there? I like that. I think that looks well. I do think that looks nice. Maybe a bit too much at that point, but hey ho. Little close up of the 37 going past. It's a little bit grainy. It is only an iPhone at the end of the day, but I think it's done quite well for the darkness. Like I say, it's really dark. Hang on a minute. What's security? Are you picking this up? Are you watching? Can you zoom in on him, security? Are you awake? Security, are you awake? Can you zoom in for me, please? Do you know what? This guy, yeah. No, that's not right, is it? Zooming out when I've asked you to zoom in. You've clearly been asleep. is out of order. On that note, I'm going to finish this video here, and then we'll pick up on part 2. And then that's 15 minutes, and it's not wasted all your day, has it? Please give us a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe if you haven't already. It's a new channel, and I think every thumbs up counts and helps out big time. So it would be great if you could do that. I would really, really appreciate it. If you think it's a load of rubbish, obviously don't do that. Definitely don't. But definitely do if you do. Thank you. Take care. See you soon.